Starting on the recording. So today, and here I'm going to do the spotlight. Today we're going to paint. It's really fun to go to the birds. I really have to say, it's a lot of fun. And so today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to do something different in terms of the construction of the painting. The construction of the painting is going to start with a pencil drawing and then a one color tonal painting where we focus on values. But after that, I'm going to have you choose what colors you want to put on the tops layers. Now, how can you make that decision if this is a black and white photograph? Number one, the color photograph is there. So if you want to look at it, you can. But if you'll notice, these colors are very like, and if you look particularly on the screen, if you'll notice, we have very distinct color variations, right? Values between light and dark. So you can pretty much put any color you want in a place as long as the color that's here reads as a dark next to this color, which reads as lighter with like little dark streaks in it. So you have options to play with color today. And in fact, you're even going to pick your base. So I'm not even sure today, this morning, what base I'm going to pick. We'll see what mood I'm in. But let's get started. And I'm kind of, in these painting classes, we're not really doing grids because everybody's working with different sizes. I don't think the grids are really helpful. And I think the shapes are pretty simple. So we're going to start with kind of a, I'll show you, I'll send you pictures of all of this. So you have a picture right now on the thread. It's like a little leaning house. Right? You have a picture on the thread of this picture without all the junk on it. I'm going to now send you this picture. Sorry, let's get rid of that here. Yep. And I'm trying to decide. We're going to start with a big brush, but we're going to quickly, I'm going to give you opportunities to move to a smaller brush. So this is the first thing that we're going to draw. So once again, for those of you who are new to this process, this is what we would call the envelope. If we were to draw an envelope, hi, Natalia, by the way, nice to see you. If we were to draw an envelope of shape around the whole bird, hold on just one second here. Here we are. The bird would fit into this envelope, this shaped envelope. So when we start with our sketch, we're going to start with, yes, and then I want to do this kind of line just to kind of get through the top and the bottom here. So we're going to start by kind of just defining the length. This peacock takes up much of the page. So I'm setting this line kind of randomly. I'm deciding myself how long this line is going to be. Starting like that. So that's this line. And then I'm going to measure, I'm going to use this line to guess how to kind of estimate how high this line is. So I do that by taking my pencil. And can you see that I'm taking my pencil and I'm measuring, I'm using my finger to measure the base. And here, the top of the pencil goes to the top here. And then I'm going to lay that here. And what I can see is that this is about, I'm a 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit more than 2/3 of the way across. So I'm going to mark that here, kind of where I think that is, probably here, like that. So you see how I'm guessing? Now I'm not measuring. I'm not going from here to here. I'm not doing that because these aren't the same size necessarily. I'm more looking at a proportion. So this can be any size. You can make it bigger or smaller. So you can't go from paper to right. Anyways, most of you don't have the paper. So what I'm really doing is I'm kind of assessing, and I'm going from, by the way, the edge here to here. I'm assessing kind of how tall this is. I'm marking it down, and then I'm going to put that in. So my peacock comes almost all the way up to here. If I want a peacock that's in proportion. So everybody get, what is that like? Do you guys remember for anybody who was here last year, what are we doing? What is it similar to? What have we done last year that was like this?
Faces.
Yeah. Also figures, right? But definitely faces. Exactly. Finding that width and that height. Yes. So if I establish the width, I'm just marking that so you can see it. I can establish my first line kind of based on how big or small I want it. But the second lines are really going to be, everything else is going to be based off of this size. I'm looking at that. Yep, that is it. 2, 1, 2,
Nee.
3, 4. Yep, that's about right. So that when I come up here, I know where to put my, here, wait. There we go. When I come up here to draw my other things, I know where to put them, right? I know how far up to go. So this is just basically a straight line here. And this kind of comes out and then in, kind of curves out like this and then goes in like that. So see how those lines are already kind of helping you get things in the right places? It's kind of neat, isn't it? So this is how to properly draw, really. This is what, when you're using a 2D subject, right? Actually, when you're using any subject. And of course, now I'm coming to these sort of external shapes.
Yeah, but is it really that tall? Because somehow now I'm confused a little bit. Like
What?
at your drawing, I think it looks much taller somehow. I don't know
I don't
why.
think so. I don't think so. I can check it. Nope. I know you think that because you're looking at this, but these aren't necessarily the same size. Here, hold on. Just to get really, here, that's 20.
No, I just have impression that it's really tall, like on.
I know. I know you do. And I'm showing you that it's not really 1, 2, well, maybe it is a little bit. Maybe it comes in a little bit like this. Let me do this. Let me bring it down just a touch. But it's not as, maybe it comes down like this. But it's not, I think you want it to come way down here like this, and that's not actually what's happening.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm checking.
Yeah. Good question. So notice, yes, I'll bring it down a little bit. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, if you want to really be, yep, bring it a little bit. I'm bringing mine a little bit further back. What's nice is about this system is I can fix things fairly easily. So, but it's not as far. You probably think it should come down to here, right? probably feels like it should come down to here. Believe it or
Yeah.
not, it's higher up than you think. That's why I'm saying you really need to check this measurement, right, to here. You need to check your measurements because things aren't, as you have probably learned, Olga, things are not always as they seem, correct? When you're translating to a two-dimensional plane. All right, but I did bring this down significantly. So to be fair.
Not Olga, it was Anya.
Oh, Anya. Okay, Anya. Sorry. So Anya, notice, and Anya, you struggle with this, right? Where things really are on the page versus where you think they are. So yes, just notice that about yourself now, and also about the process, I would say. So good. Yeah. So here, so I can get the head in. And I'd like to start. So the head is really on this side. I also think, and I think this needs to move over a little bit. I think my line needs to come here, closer to the edge. How's that? That probably also helps. So I've got my head, just the outside shape here on this side of the line. And then I'm really focusing more. It's hard to see this, sorry. I'm really focusing more on these shapes. See, I'm almost paying more attention to the outer shape. I can see this comes back here to this line here. I think I might have brought this down too high. Let me see, 1, 2. Maybe not, we'll see. I think it feels like it should come up a little bit higher like this. We will see. I don't know, maybe not. And let me take a picture of this so you guys can see it. Here, hold on. Yep. Haven't had enough coffee this morning. 1, 2, 3. Actually, interestingly, these things seem to be divided. Yeah, that's about right. This seems to, if I ran up this line to 1/3, this third is, the first third is the legs. The second third is the body here. And then the neck starts. So 1, 2, so the neck starts kind of about here, gets a little thicker. So you see how I'm kind of moving around. Also, my lines are a little bit awkward, but I'm almost like placing things before I start to draw them. And I'm sorry, you can't really, I've sort of obscured the leg here. So I'm going back to the original to find out what's going on here. It looks like the leg is on this side. And notice the leg has little joints. But I'm mostly paying attention to, at this point, to the negative spaces. See, I'm not really even finishing the feet right now because I really do want to just get all of the pieces in place. This comes down like this. Right now, I'm directing you kind of, this is all feathers. Oops, nope, and I think that needs to come in. I never do these, as you guys know, I never do these before I start class. So some days it's easy for me, some days it's harder. Today I'm a little bit slow this morning. I don't know why. Oh, and I feel like this needs to come up more. So see, I'm really playing with these shapes a lot. These external shapes before I'm starting to really get into the details of the inner bird. That feels right. I'm looking. I'm spending a lot of time with this shape. This shape, it's, I notice I extended it out here. And then I had to pull it back. I think that's right. And then I'm going to use another color. And then we're going to draw these guys in. I'm kind of outlining the dark, medium, and the light shapes. I like the peacock in this position because we actually have a fighting chance of getting like some of the detail of the feathers without getting too detailed. Face is going to be kind of tricky. He also has a little crown back here. Yeah. I think that looks, I think this has to come up a little bit. So you see, I'm not necessarily getting this all right on the first go. What I'm very good at is laying a lie down and then assessing it to see, is this working? Yeah. In a way, you can kind of divide the shapes like this. You could do your first shape like this and your second shape like this. So if you see here, I'm like, okay, this kind of comes down and then it goes and then it kind of dips. There's a little change. Here, let me send you these. And then I'm going to send you a couple close-ups of areas that we'll need to look at. By the way, you guys are being pros. And tomorrow we're going to do this, the raccoons in the the baby raccoons sticking their face out of the tree that Sandra sent. It's so cute. All right, so here are the basics. So once we get in here, right, there's this kind of front part of the wing, which is more stripy or appears more stripy. I'm paying a lot of attention to this dark area here. There's a kind of light area here. And we really do have some fantastic animals this week. I did cows for the other two classes, different positions, and you should really check them out. They are a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to do. All right, and then we've got this kind of hanging down here. So there's, let's see, so we've got this tail coming like this. Notice all the circles aren't perfectly round. Some of them are going to look more oval because of the position in which you find them. But there's not that many. There's only like 8. So we can kind of place them, I think, which is nice. It's like just the right amount of detail, like not too much. Notice that these feathers are kind of lined up with the circles. And I see this one, that means this one has to come down. And there's this kind of light bit under the feathers. Right? Is that it? I think, and then we're going to do a lot of this detail, but I'm kind of just pulling the edges in just to sort of indicate that there are these feathery edges we're going to need to deal with. And then of course there's, which I cannot see very well. Let's see if I can grab it to the original. There's also this shadow kind of at his back. By the way, what direction? That's a really interesting question. What direction is the shadow coming from? The sun coming from? Can you tell from this picture?
From the right?
Yeah. But it's hard to see, right? Because the shadow's going back this way.
You can only tell the neck and the back.
Kind of, yeah. Like it's lighter here. It's a little bit lighter up here. Yep.
From the top of the head is.
Yep. Sandra, I want to credit you. You're getting really good with understanding light sources.
Oh,
That
thank you.
is like super, super good skill to have. All right. Then I might get rid of some of these lines because they're distracting. Now I'm going to do a close up here. Hold on. I am going to do a close up. Where are you? A picture of this guy. Oh, darn. Here, I'll pull him out of WhatsApp. Can you edit a picture in WhatsApp?
But I can edit it for you outside.
No, that's all right. Yeah, I could do it.
You can edit it a bit before you post it, I think.
Yeah. So I actually took the photo with using the WhatsApp camera. I think I've got to get it out to be able to cut it. So here, hang on. I'm going to do that. I got it. You guys keep drawing. I want to get you a close up of the face. So that means I just have to send it out, get it back. I find I feel I'm kind of embarrassed by this. I do these kind of ridiculous workarounds. Do you guys ever find that? I'm like, oh my God. I do workarounds that are like, I know are absurd. I know my 50-something-year-old old lady brain is like, this is dumb. Why are you doing this? But, okay, wait, hold on. All pictures there. Okay. Got it. Okay, so I'm going to do a little close up of his face so you can see what's happening in the face without all my drawings all over it. Some nice references. Yeah, this is a great shot, actually. Gives us a lot of contrast. If you look at his head, you'll see that's there. Here we are. Okay, so here's a little close-up of his head so you can see where the lights and darks might be, right, when you get there. You can erase this. These lines.
Oh, you hear the Washington Crows?
Yes. What are they wanting? Cat food?
No. Yesterday they were holding like a ceremony, or either that or they were harassing an owl. I don't.
Crows really are fascinating.
Yes,
they are so smart. And when one of theirs dies, they have this whole thing that they do. It's a fascinating.
Yes, exactly. That's why I was wondering where they
were doing that. Apparently, there's no mistaking it. I've never seen it, but I've had friends who have seen it, and they're like, "It is."
Well, it helps if you see the body or something.
Right.
But if you don't.
Right, but they do this whole. They all gather in this huge flock, and they stand, and it's amazing. Okay. I think this is as close as we're going to get. to a kind of base. I'm going to take a picture so you guys can see. I've not only blocked out like the actual different parts of the body, I've also blocked out some of the lights and darks. So these are kind of lighter areas in this fairly dark place, this position. And so you're definitely going to be able to use a smaller brush. So go ahead and when you're done with this, or if you're struggling with this, go ahead and send me a picture of your drawing. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I feel, Olga, that this needs to come down further.
Mhm.
I had this part. Can you see where I'm pointing?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
I also
it.
thought it's too
Yep,
small.
yep. It's just, yeah, too small and it comes down. So, but good. I like the construction.
Thank you.
Anik, very nice. Yeah, that looks great. I like this shape. I like how you've gotten that. Yep. Is anybody starting to find this thinking a little bit more natural? Natalia, this is pretty good. I think this needs to come down a little bit. I think he's a little fat up here. See how this is kind of a narrower shape than what you've got? Good job. Let's see. Nice, Anya. Great work. Good.
Yeah, I really feel that it's too long, but I think maybe it's about right.
It is right. You just don't, you're just not, you're just thinking like it's your left brain getting in your way. Annika, this guy, so the leg is kind of thicker up here.
Yeah.
Right? And look at that relationship. This needs to come down just a touch. Also, you need to get your wing. I think it'll help you when you get your lighter wing shape up here in there. And I think this is longer. If you look, this is the same. The length from here to here is the same as the height from here to here. See that?
Yeah.
So I'm measuring that. That'll help. Yeah, I know. It's a struggle, right? Like to see things as they actually are versus what you think they are. It's very easy to make things too big. You guys saw me make things too big 4 times in this drawing. So it's not like I'm saying, ha, I'm better than you, because it is a struggle. We're kind of constantly fighting with this desire to make things too big. But the difference is a pro artist knows that they lay the lines down and then they look and they evaluate. You're kind of constantly evaluating. How is this going to look? And then here's the fun thing, because a lot of you are done with this. Your base, you're going to do a base painting in one color. I'll remind you how to do that just with the values, the basic values. But you get to pick what that color is. It can be any color you want. I was just thinking, I did 2 base paintings in green. I'm thinking I want to do, I don't know, maybe red. Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah, purple maybe. Actually, purple is really what I'm desiring to do, a base. Although orange would look really cool with, yep, that's what I'm doing. All right, so I'm gonna do you, but I want you to be really free to do any color you want to for your base. I'm gonna actually mix red and yellow to make orange here. Hold on, I'm just gonna put them up so you guys can see it. There's yellow. There's a bit of red, kind of running out of cadmium, so I'll use quinacridone. Make my red a little bit cooler. I'm gonna mix kind of orange together. Here, I'm gonna flashback. I found this was really helpful during our basics section. And by the way, thank you for everybody for coming to that. So if you can see here on the side, here's my setup. Here's my brushes. So I'm going to start with my big brush as usual, and I'm going to start with my dark color. So I'm going to tap my brush out in this little paper towel or rag here so that it's not so wet. Yeah. And I'm going to come over here to my palette. Now you can come over to the closer in one like this. And I'm just mixing a very dark orange, kind of a reddy orange. And I'm going to go in with my dark here. Okay, now I'm moving this so we can see everything. So I'm still using my big brush, but I'm going to let you. Last night I was like, I'm letting you go to a small brush. And there are people who've worked with me for years who have never heard that. But definitely this is a small, we're going to need a small brush. And I know that like parts of the chest are lighter, but it's still okay to make everything kind of dark. And then we'll make it lighter on the next go round. I'm doing a kind of soft, draggy edge here with the remainder of my paint. I don't know if you can see this. If this is dry. Whoop. Is there anything else that's like super dark? A little bit dark here. The trick when you've got lots of detail is to kind of decide what the base darker color is, right? I'm going to make the whole head dark because even though there's light areas, there's a lot of dark there. So this is pretty dark up here. I'm going to add lights on top when it dries. And then for this area, I'm going to use a little bit more water. So if you can come over here, you'll see I'm dipping in the water. I still have paint on my brush. I still want this to be fairly dark, just not quite as dark. Here, wait. Sorry, now you can see it. So this is how simple our base is going to be. And then you can either take the same color and run it everywhere, or you can take a different color and kind of softly lay it down everywhere. But so you can pick any color you want. You can try yellow, you can try purple, you can try blue, you can try green. You want to think a little bit about complementary colors is always helpful. I was thinking it would be nice to have oranges. And this is interesting. This is kind of a cooler red that I was anticipating, but I like it. I'm going to make this a little bit darker. Even though it's fairly light, I'm going to make that a little bit darker. I really want it to be a dark medium compared to my dark. We'll talk about feathers and how to handle little variations without going crazy. So it involves going darker. Notice it's still not quite as dark as you think.
Leah, could you please see my drawing as well? If it's...
Yeah. I'll get there right now. Here, hold on. I'm going to take a picture of this and then I'll look. Diana's working on her cow from the first session. So yeah, I would highly, that was a great session. I would highly recommend you. Looking great, Diana. I like the green on his nose. Let's see. I think, Needy, this part here is a little too thick. So do you see how the neck is too thin? The neck needs to come down a little bit more and out. So what you've done, let me see if I can show you, is this. Here, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to show you on here. What you've done is this. You've drawn this like that. Okay. So you want to come down, get your neck a little bit thicker and pull in. So you want to pull, that's like too high. The neck isn't thick enough. Otherwise, looks pretty good. This is, the body's fairly thin across here, thinner than you'd think. Anybody else sent anything I need to look at? Natalia.
Yeah, I was asking, yeah.
It looks good, Natalia. Looks good to me. Let's see. I'm just looking here. Look at this back leg. It's thicker at the top and is more present than you have it right now. So just make sure you've got it in here. This back leg is dark and thicker here. So it plays a pretty important role in, you know, kind of defining this bottom area.
Okay.
Mhm. Linda, also look at this back leg. Also, this is thicker and it plays a more important role. Also, I think that'll help you when you get this up here, you're going to be able to get this shape better. So there's this dark leg kind of coming in there. Otherwise, looks pretty good. Good job. Good job, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Huh?
Good.
Good? Good.
Good.
Has the LA Times apologized yet?
No.
Stupid
No.
little bastards.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this down. So here is where it gets really fun, you guys. I'm gonna pull this, the original color drawing. So if you wanna work with color, you can. But you get to pick your top cut, but it's better in a way to work with the black and white, that you get to pick your own colors. You don't have to stick with the colors that are here. You can pick any colors that you want as long as they read as light, medium, and dark value when you put them down in the light, medium, and dark value places. So this is your, I think, your first experiment in like play and like and associating color with value. I mean, you might totally love these colors and want to use them, but you don't have to. I'm going to play with this a little bit. I'm going to play with my colors. And at this point, I'm going to let you use a smaller brush because there's details in here that will be tricky to get and the shapes are fairly small. So I'm going to let you use a smaller pointed brush if you want to do that. In fact, I'd recommend you do that. I'm going to let you. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to listen to me at all. But let's get you all to that first level. I want to see that first layer.
Oh yeah, Leah, I'm catching up. I'm just going to send you the drawing now.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, lots of people are still there in the drawing place. Don't worry about that.
Thinking maybe the neck is too short.
Let me look. Yeah, because his head is kind of turned towards us, the neck is thicker.
Twisted.
It's thicker than you'd think it was. And it's a little tricky to see here, so you have to kind of return to the original picture to see the lengths a little bit. Ooh, Anik, neat. I like that color.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, there's Sandra, look at the shape. So number one, the biggest thing is this is too thick. You've got it too high up.
Okay.
If you look here and you do a measurement, you'll see that from the bottom here.
It should be a third, right?
Yeah, a third, a third, a third, exactly. Or a halfway if you want to just deal with the
But
body
it is
itself.
a third.
Then cut it, then it needs to flatten out more here and it needs to come down more here. I think you did the
Okay.
same thing Needy did, which is, you see, you brought this line up like this a little bit. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but
Right.
just to show you. So come down here and then look at this. You've got the shape, the neck is too thin. It should be thicker.
So in
Here.
fact, the neck is too short, do you think?
Yeah, the neck is a little too short.
No, it looks.
No, you have it twisted in this weird way. You've divided it into these pieces. It's wider
Because it's
here.
twisted right there.
Yes, and comes out. Yeah, so you're drawing, Sandra, tell your left brain to leave the studio. You're drawing what you think a twist looks like and not what the twist looks like. So look at these shapes. Really look at this shape. It's kind of like in like a cup. I mean, I've just drawn all over this so much, it's really hard to see. Look at the bigger, look at the close up so that you of the face, so you can really see here. It's over here. Here's a better view. There's no like extra little piece there. Here. I'm going to send this over so you can see it before I put all the marks on it. Here. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of more like this.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't really look like a twist the way you think a twist should look. It looks more like it's kind of thicker here and comes down like that. But pretty good. We're still getting there. We're doing good. Yeah. This is a good source. It's got a lot going on. And I'm going to let you guys go to a single, and I'm just making sure everybody here. Who is L? L, are you new or is that Lana? Well, anyway, if anybody needs to be added to the thread, so you can, the WhatsApp thread, so you can see that you can see the sort of steps, let me know. If you're just watching, that's also okay. This back leg is thicker than you think it is. So it's important to kind of get that thickness up here and the thinness because it's a very dark shape. All right. You guys are doing good. While you're doing that, and yeah, just keep sending me stuff as you need to.
I've made it worse.
Why don't you step back and squint at it, Sandra, so you can see, or just take a picture and look at it. I bet the moment you take a picture. Natalia. Yeah, that looks good, Natalia.
It needed to be thinner.
Yes. So take a picture of it, Sandra. That will help you see it. That looks good. Yes.
Thank you.
Should legs, are they like too short, perhaps?
Yes, a little bit too short.
Yeah, I can still save it. I can always save it.
Of course. You can bring them down just a touch. Or you know what? I think you need to bring the body up just a little bit. So maybe take a little bit of white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Happy birthday, son. Right? And bring it up a little bit. The leg really comes up into the body.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you're struggling with that. It's kind of this thick leg. Awesome. You guys, I'm going to go pour myself just a touch more coffee. Believe me, you'll all be happy. I'll be right back.
Excuse me.
let's see. I still think, so Sandra, this back leg needs to get thicker up at the top here. You have it very thin. So I think what's happening for a lot of people is they're missing that this back leg kind of, here, I'm going to take a close picture of it so you can see it. The back leg is thicker and because it's closer to us. So you're kind of missing
But
that.
It's further from us because it's the left
No,
leg.
no, this one is, the back leg is, this is, okay, sorry, the front leg. What I meant was the one that's behind. This one here is the front leg. It needs to be wider. So take a look here and you'll see, yeah, you're right. Sorry, wrong language. And once you get that kind of comes up and in, it helps you shape this piece.
Okay, I've made it.
Yeah, it helps, doesn't it? It's funny, you can tell when we've kind of stopped trying to like get the shapes right, like on the things that aren't so important, and it makes a difference. Let's see. Anya, nice. Nice, very nice. Yep. I feel like Anya, can you, the head needs to get a little bit wider here.
Okay.
So look at this, look at the head really closely. I'm going to bring it up again. You have him you have the head kind of sitting like a bobble on top of the body. It looks a little bit like a goldfish, right? Like, so here, take a look at the head. I know this seems like very like anal because here, wait, where are you? There you are.
No, it's good. But you mean the head, not the neck, right?
Yeah,
Well,
the head and how it relates to the neck. So that's what I want you to look at. I'm going to send this over again. Look at it closely to see the shapes. Here it is. Yeah. So the head is kind of, so it is related to the neck because the head kind of comes forward a little bit. And then there's this dark shape here. And you have it kind of sitting on this spindly little thing. So you see what I'm saying? The neck is just a little thicker.
I was just afraid to put too much color.
Don't be afraid to put too much color with acrylic. We can always cover it up. So you can use, yes. So if you want to use a smaller pointy brush to get the control that you need to. And just know that we can always, it's better to have more color than less color when it comes to acrylic, because we can always cover it.
Yes.
Yes, it's the most correctable, like, that's why I love to paint, because it's very correctable. Like acrylic and oil painting, if you don't like where something is, you erase by pulling in the background, you know, colors. Hang on just a second.
Shit. Sorry.
Oh my God, Sandra, Hermes found a new toy yesterday. He is now obsessed with the washing machine and the water that flows out into the sink when the washer goes. My boyfriend was doing laundry last night. We had a lot of laundry to do for our Airbnb. And Hermes just sat on the washer while it rattled and looked he just looked excited, like, this is awesome. Oh my God. And then
be careful when you put in that he's not sleeping in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, he's yes, absolutely. I always triple check with cats. But it was just funny. He like sat on top of the washing machine for hours watching the water flow in and out of the slop sink, like watching, like sitting on the washer while it was shaking and looking like he was having a good time. And it's just like, oh my God, you're so weird. But it was
amused by so little. They like water. Well, like my guys are obsessed with water. In fact, with Bengals, you have to always close the lid because they learn how to flush the toilets and they flush all day long.
Really?
Yeah,
that is awesome.
They flush.
He learned how to flush. He's obsessed with water. I mean, from the beginning, when I take a bath, he wanders around the edge of the tub. He often falls in And guess what?
Yes,
And
I
you
used to have it.
and you think that he wouldn't want to do it, but he does. He still wants to get wet. Like he doesn't mind getting wet.
I
When I
think
was a student, I used to live with a girl who had a cat, and this cat slept in a sink in a bathroom.
Yeah.
oh yeah, they love sinks. And also they love
Natalia.
sinks and bidets because they're like the perfect shape for them.
Right.
Yeah,
They can
like
totally
little
fit
beds.
their whole little body in and
Yep.
yep. So Natalia, I'm just so noting how your style of mark making really translates across medium. You have a very soft, floaty, like very soft edge. And it's really interesting to me to see how even on the base layers, how much that comes through. That's your voice. All I want to say is that's your voice. Don't worry about it. I'm not like calling you out. I'm just saying it's distinctly clear, even in this early mark making, that you have a way that there you have a set of mark making that you like, and you get your tools to do that. And I think that's an interesting thing to notice. So those of you who are ready, now you get to really have fun. So now like you get to pull any dark color. So now I'm going to do a purple kind of in the darkest areas of this bird. So I'm going to mix, but you don't have to use purple. I'm really telling you, I want you to use whatever colors. I want you to give yourself a dark so that you and start, laying in the darker. Here, hold on, get this out.
Just send a new drawing.
Yeah, now I want you to just play with color and value. So that means I'll do it with you. I'm going to do it as well. So you can watch and we can talk about trouble areas, but I want you to have fun. Let's see. Oh yeah, Sandra, that looks better. That looks better. Okay, so an Annika looks great. Nice values painting, Andrea. And Annika, and I like the way you've got the leg kind of kicking back there. So the reason I'm emphasizing this leg is that it really needs to be bigger than this leg. This leg is farther away from us. This
But
leg
it
is
isn't.
closer to us. It is. This leg is farther away from us. This is the front leg. This is the back leg. This leg
No,
is
it's the other way
going back. This is the back leg.
That's the leg that's furthest from us.
This is this leg?
Yes, the one in
No.
front is the one that's
on.
closest.
That's what I said. No, I don't think that's true. Hold on, I'm gonna look, but I'm gonna look.
No, Leah's right.
I'm right. This one is bigger. This one is in front. And the reason that you're missing that, Sandra, is that the leg comes up and is in the dark. There's a lost edge here. This is the front leg. This is the back leg. Got that? Front. It's a little confusing.
Right.
Front and back.
But look,
So-
look where they're positioned on the ground.
He's just lifting his leg up. So that's
Yes,
not,
but
that doesn't,
it's further away from us on the ground.
because he's taking his leg back. This leg is going back.
I don't think that's great. But
That's
anyway.
true. I know, because I know perspective, and I know that that's what's happening. In any event, this is, you're not analyzing this correctly from a right brain perspective. And the reason I know that is because this leg is bigger than this leg. And so this leg needs to appear bigger than this leg because it's closer to us. Got it? So just like the human figure, this leg, and the reason you're confused, it's confusing, and I had that confusing moment for a second too, is that this leg kind of goes up into the dark underbelly of the bird and disappears. It actually kind of moves up here. That's where it ends. That's why you're all struggling with this piece, because there's actually a leg that comes in here. And
I'm
it's
going to
hard
send a
see.
close up because I'm really confused about
Well,
this.
you have the picture too.
But I'm just going to send a close up of a picture.
Oh yeah, send a close up of the picture. Oh, by the way, looks good, Needy. That looks great. Here, I've just sent I think I just sent a close up of the picture, but let me find it again.
Yeah,
But to be honest,
and
I also see it like Sandra. Maybe it's a thing of
I've just sent
the
The
you.
red
portion.
versus the, I think, well, okay. I'm
I've
gonna
just
be
sent you.
willing. Okay, hang on.
I'm starting to hesitate now. I think Sandra
Now
would
I'm
be right
hesitating
when
too.
I look at it,
All right,
because of-
Sandra, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Okay, let me show you. All right, you're right. You're right. You're right. All right, you guys. But still, shape is important. You're right. All right, Sandra. Good for standing your ground. It's that like red, is the dress blue or yellow? Here, let me send the close up and you're absolutely right. Hold on, let me get it. Give me 1 second. All right, I-O, you're right. Hang on. Yep, so let's look at what's happening down there so that we can really see. Here, I'm gonna get the legs, because this will help. Yes. Here it is. Here's the close up. You're right. You're right. So pay attention, but there is a piece here that will help us. So here, there's this little dark, it's almost like a dark triangle. Can you see it? A little darker triangle. So that's what it is. That's the shape. All right.
It's at an angle, that back leg.
Yes, it is at an angle, that back leg. You got it. So there's this kind of dark triangle here underneath, and then you're right. This is the front leg. So make the front leg a little bit wider than the back leg. Not too much. Yep, you're right. You got it. So now we have it here. Good job. All right, and so now you're going to go in with your darkest areas, as always. You can go in with your little brush. Where's my little brush? Ah, here it is. My skinny brush. And I'm going to start mixing some darker colors, right, for my really dark. So I've got this purple I'm mixing over here. Here, I can even show it to you guys as I'm doing it. I've decided to go really dark.
Shit.
What?
Oh, just missing.
Okay.
Painting in the wrong place.
Ah, happens. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And then there's this kind, so since we're working in this area, let me see if I can, okay, I'm gonna have this up here. So yeah, there's this kind of like little dark, it's almost like a triangle that comes up like this. Can you see that? By the way, really great eyes, Linda and Sandra. Good eye. And thank you for standing your ground on that one. I know I can get kind of intransigent, but I will admit if I'm wrong. And so this back area kind of comes in at a point like this. So you see how I'm not doing the whole leg? It's kind of thicker at the top. And then there's this joint that comes down here. It gets thinner. So this is almost a 2-person thing. And then of course, and I'm just going to all the dark areas. So I'm kind of going around here like this to the darkest areas. I could make this dark if I wanted to. But I might go in with lighter colors, slightly lighter colors in value here. Also, let's see. Kind of moving around. It's a little bit darker here. And then around the top. Really helps to have the small brush when you're kind of doing there's a sort, it's sort of dark at the neck here. dark out here. You see how I'm kind of moving around? And then maybe I do something totally funky, like maybe I decide that what am I gonna do? Maybe I decide to do more of a kind of a reddy orange color here. Oh, add a little yellow to lighten it. Because it gets a little lighter as we come up here. I'm kind of taking more of my orangey red, maybe. Or maybe I just want to, maybe I want to mix in some green. That might be what's actually happening there.
So Leah, are you planning to make that bird orange in the end, or is it just the underpainting now?
Am I planning on making the bird what?
Orange, or is it the underpainting?
That's the underpainting. So now I'm starting with the overpainting. And what I've told you is, what I'd like you guys to do is pick your colors, any colors you want based on the values. So I'm just toying with what my next value is, what color I'm going to mix. You might want to have some white on your, I'm going to put it up here so you can see it. I have a little bit of white here. Oh, wait, nope, that's red. Okay. So you might want some, where's my white? Where's my white? Ah, here you are. You might want some white on your palette so that you can lighten colors, and some yellow on your palette so that you can lighten colors to make them a little bit lighter. Like I know that this is a little bit darker down here and it gets a little lighter up here. So I'm just playing with what I can put there.
And we were supposed to paint the background as well?
Not yet.
Okay.
Start with your subject, and then when you're about halfway through is a good time to go into your background. The background is what you do when you've kind of got all of your sort of basic, when you haven't got to the detail part of the animal yet.
Right.
And you need that. You need the background, right, to kind of help you decide.
Yeah, I'm kind of there now.
Mm-hmm.
Need to. I always do background at the same time, but
You have, well, we all have some background in our paper, in our painting right now. It's just not the final background. But the making your background decision is kind of important. Let's see.
I'm gonna send you mine, see what you think about my background.
Okay.
And you know, when we do the underpainting, should we paint the head as well?
Yes, but make the head dark. So I'm giving myself some turquoise in here.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? Because it's just kind
Are we
of fun.
surprised?
Right, you're not surprised. Jessica and I like our picture. But notice how dark it is. So it's reading as like a 4 against the 5 of the undercarriage of the bird. And as I bring it up, I'm making it a little bit lighter by adding a little bit of yellow to it. See that? And I may because really, and then I'm adding a lot of yellow. Oh, I got some blue in there. I got the wrong color blue in there. Let's see. To make this kind of light streak. Oh, I need even more yellow. Right? There's this kind of light streak here. All of these have soft edges, by the way, as I kind of come up. Now, this is an interesting, let me think about how to handle this part here. I'm going to go to the face last because it's so small. It's an interesting thing to think about how to handle this. I think I want this. So let's see, what do I want to do here? I think I'm going to paint this in turquoise like this. I'm going to make this kind of a darker, kind of medium dark color. But you see how this turquoise still looks lighter than this? So even the darkest part here. And then let's see, I'm going to go in, just trying to figure out the best way to like kind of bring in the white. I might need to go back to my, I don't like that. So I might need to go back to my big brush for this. So we have this light area, this sort of dark area. Like if you look at here, these parts are very dark. I'm going to try my holding a few brushes trick. Might help. Okay, nope. This is what has to happen. I can already tell. Okay, so this needs to be way darker. This needs to be almost as dark as what's happening down here. And then I'm going to take, let's see. Now let me play with, trying to figure out how to make the texture of the feathers without getting too like soldiery. I'm using like white. And I'm using like, I'm grabbing these like 3 bristles. I'm using kind of a combination of white and turquoise. I'm dipping my brush in the white and then I'm dipping into the turquoise, which is kind of a medium color. I think it's more of a turquoise. So I want the dark to show underneath the light. And I also but I want to make sure I don't cover up all my dark. Whoa.
Oh, shit.
So it's easy to go too dark here or too light here. So I've gone really dark on the base and then gone over the top with a light and a medium streaky brush.
Yeah. How do you
Yes.
make turquoise?
You
Is
can't
it
really.
like blue? Oh,
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can't really. You got to buy it.
Yes, you can.
I mean, you can try green and blue and yellow, but you won't.
Yeah, but if you have phthalo blue,
Phthalo blue, yes.
and I think the lemon yellow.
okay.
Is your best bet.
Yeah,
could
I always mix my, let me mix some, so I don't know what I'm doing till I do it.
Try it. I think
I'll-
I think it's an exercise in frustration myself, but
No, it's not.
let's
But
see.
that's
So
good.
I was gonna do gouache, but I might have to do mixed with watercolors.
Oh, okay, right, because you don't have the colors.
Because
Oh,
I don't have
Diana,
enough
yeah, I think
watercolor.
I like this background, Diana. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, you're done. Let
I
me
don't
just
know.
check one thing on the cow.
I hadn't done the body yet. I've done
Okay,
the
just the
now.
face. I was just gonna say the if you look
done the
at the here's the for the proportions. If you look at the proportions here, yours is too short.
Wait.
The back of the body is coming too short. Needs to come down more
Okay.
to the base of the nose, like this.
Okay.
Yeah, the body's too short. Other than that, it looks great. All right, so try. All right, so try. Yes, so Sandra, try phthalo blue.
I don't have that either. gonna do
Right,
the
you
best
need a somehow phthalo corrected itself as potato blue, which is absolutely not. You need a cool. What blues do you have?
There's some coming, but they're stuck in the mail.
What blues do you have?
Well, so in gouache, I've only got ultramarine, and in otherwise in the other one I've got cerulean blue.
Neither of those is going to help you really. Cerulean is too white. So that's what you can try. I mean, but cerulean has got too much warm color in it. So it's got some phthalo though. So cerulean is better. Try cerulean and some cool yellow, like a lemon yellow or a cad yellow light. You can try adding green. Just do your best with that. But I would actually buy yourself a turquoise. It's actually worth it to own one.
Or else, I've got more colors, but it's acrylic gouache, and that's going to be really weird.
Try it.
Otherwise, I've got blue cobalt. Cobalt, would that help? Cobalt?
It might.
Blue cobalt
might help.
Yeah. Yeah. Cobalt is also kind of tends to be neutral to warm, but it might work better. I always feel like I always feel like cobalt is closer to ultramarine, but try it. So yeah, try with your different blues, mix with yellow and some white and a little bit of green if you've got it, and see what you get. So what I did here, you guys, is darken very much with kind of a purple base, this wing. And then I went over, let me see if I can get this up close so you can really see. And then I went over with this big brush, using a few strands. I would dip in the paint and kind of come in and try. Right? So the biggest thing here is not to have so much control. Because when you have control, you're going to make it kind of more regular than it needs to be. I'm outlining, I'm pulling in, the feathers are kind of going in a horizontal, sort of a vertical diagonal pattern, right? Like this. And I may, when it's dry, glaze it darker. I may go back in and glaze it darker. So I might work on this for a little while. So when you're dealing with patterns like this, you want to make sure that you have the darkest color, which is here, right? There is a darker color in here. I think the tendency is to want to lay light colors in and then dot in the dark, but it's really the opposite. You want to lay your darkest color in first and then put your white marks on top. And you'll see it's really easy to get too kind of crazy with the white marks. I think I have here, so I need to wait till this dries. I'm going to work on another area. Let's see here. And let's see, I might use red.
So good.
A little bit of orange. So I'm coming in and pulling out now the lighter areas. Now you're going to want to see both, I think. These areas are pretty light. I've got a combination of yellow and red and white on my brush right now. I might change this color later. See how nicely these whites lay over the dark that I laid down after that? And then This is happening. And then this is happening. Oh, you're right. There's a little. So actually I can see that I need to bring this dark further down. So once again, I'm going in and darkening everything more on my second layer. Same up here towards the top. Not all the way down, but towards the top where these sort of wrangly feathers start. So I'm going back in with my purple and really darkening before I start laying in lighter layers on top. So I went quite dark on my second layer. Now that I've gone dark, I can go back in with my lights on the top. So let's see, there's one here. There's a kind of light circle here. There's a light circle here. There's a light circle here. I can also see that it's kind of lighter. So I'm just going in with my light over the dark. There are these kind of sweeping ranges of feathers. See this kind of these sweeping horizontal sweeps of light underneath where the circles are to show feathers opening. So I'm getting in here and adding those lighter. So before I'm like getting into like too much detail, I'm looking at what are the major lights that I can see. We're starting to get somewhere. And then I can pull a couple of these like sort of strong, oh, and notice when I try to use my skinny brush, it doesn't really work for these thin lines. They make them too thick. So I'm once again going to go back to my big brush. I'll show you. And see, I'm kind of getting darker around these light vertical streaks that I just put in. I'm not going to put in the key is not to put in every shape, but just to get in a few. So once again, I'm going to grab my, there are some sort of straight lines going this way and then going this way, and they're light. So I've got my single strand. I'm holding it with my finger like this. I'm loading it with paint so you can see that. See, you can see the paint on there. And then I'm going to do a couple, not a ton, but a few streaks going down where I see stuff going down. And then a few going this way, which is where I see things going. So see how much easier it is to do a skinny line if you've got this single, rather than trying to use your thin brush. So look at how much that kind of elevates. I haven't done very many of these light lines. I don't need to do that many. But look at how much structure that gives the tail. So that's my advice to you, is to use this method to do these. Make the tail very dark. And then look at the major lights and darks as they come, the directions, and pay attention to the directions that they're coming, right? Like you definitely want to do that. See how much detail it looks like there is here without having that much detail. And then I could do the same thing with darks. So I can take this brush. Let me show you what I mean. I can take this brush. Now I have dark on it. I can pull that down too. So I can load my brush with dark. And here, Maybe this is a little too soon to do this. I should probably add in my background before I do this. So Sandra, here is a good point to add in your background.
Right, I'm adding it now actually.
Yeah,
But I'm right behind you.
Yeah, so this is a good point because now, so let me think, what do I want to do? I think I want to do a yellow background, a kind of yellowy white background. So I'm going to do a light background. We'll see how that looks. Do I like that? I'm not sure I like that. I always,
the feet are kind of yellow as well, aren't they?
well, it doesn't matter,
Oh,
right? I'm telling you to pick your own colors, so it
yeah,
doesn't really
I'm
matter.
thinking my feet are yellow, so I don't want to lose the feet in the background.
Right. Yeah, I'm not telling you which colors to use. I'm making my own decisions about my own
Right.
colors. I
It
want
just
you
happens
guys.
the
Yeah,
yellow
I want you guys to pick your own colors. I'm not sure. Do I like it? I'm not sure I like it. Let me test something else. Let me try. I have this light purple, which is kind of fun.
I can only tell that light pink works very well.
You like the light pink? Okay, cool. Yeah, and it all, of course, depends on your other colors, right? Like what you're doing. Yeah, I'm agreeing. I don't like the yellow. So wait, here's my light purple. Let's see how this looks. And maybe what I want is a darker color anyway. I'm not really sure. So I'm testing. You see, like here, I'm testing. Don't like that. Maybe I can darken that. Okay, so let's see. Let's test this kind of pink. Oh, you're right. Pink and purple. Maybe though, so see how I'm putting my background kind of up to the edge of my bird to see what is going to pop my bird forward. Or maybe I want like a bright red. I don't know. You'll notice Diana, who really knows what she's doing as a painter, always asks this question. What do I do with my background? Because she knows how important it is. Ugh, I don't like that either. All right, I'm going to let my background dry for a little bit and try something different. Let me think. What do I want to try? And I'm missing more than I'm hitting today on my own painting.
I'm missing, I screwed up this one now that I changed I did
because you didn't get the proportions right.
The cow or the bird?
I did the wrong shape.
You did the wrong proportions. Yeah.
And I don't think the proportions are wrong. I did the wrong shape because I did it too narrow on the one side.
Isn't that the same thing as proportions?
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Well,
in any event, shape proportions.
When I'm fixing it, I get the wrong shape.
Right. I kind of wondered about that when I saw it, but I thought you weren't going to include the back bodies. So I noticed that on your initial drawings that you were struggling a little bit with that.
Maybe that should be the answer, that I take away the body.
Yeah, I think you might think about taking away the body.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, ooh, what color do I want to do for my background?
No,
maybe like a phthalo blue and white. Let me try. I don't know. This is process. Like in its purest form, this is really process. It's like you're trying things. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. Maybe I change it depending on, oh, that's kind of neat.
But it's great, right? This is the part we enjoy.
Right. Like, and getting to play. And I really want to start to see your guys's color choices come out, right? Like, what is it that you kind of like when I was talking about it. Yes, this is the great part. It is the great part. Sandra, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. But it's the hard part. So it's just, I guess what I'm saying is, it's not like one automatically knows. Maybe this is better, but I don't even really know. sometimes you try things and they work. Does that work, Diana, by the way?
Yeah, it works much better because I didn't see the difference between the body and the face before. So
Right.
now I
Now you
get
do.
it because
So
I had
yeah,
it
get rid of the
50-50.
body because you didn't really make room for it, but that's okay. But the face works fine on its own.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I might actually the body and make it white. Now
I'm
get
kind
it.
of liking this background a little bit better, but let's see. I'm still feeling very undecided. Oh, very, very undecided in terms of like how I would like this to go. Maybe pinker on this side. I haven't really done much with the face yet. I'm going to do the face last. Was feeling like I needed the body in here. You're right, Olga. It's pink. Because there's, if you have lots of greens in your peacock, I actually have a two-tone background. The front is blue and it gets lighter and darker. The back is, that's how undecided I am. The back is pink. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. I might change it again. But you do at some point need a strong enough background in so that you can kind of see how to emphasize what features you need. I do like this. I like how this is playing against that. I like how this is playing against that. Let me work the face a little bit. So you guys have close-ups of the face where you can, and you're going to want a skinny brush, the skinniest brush you've got to work the face shapes. And let me know if you have questions again as we go through about these sort of light feathery areas, like how much detail to go into, what do you do? And by the way, is anybody having fun? Are you enjoying this? It's nice, isn't it?
No.
When you let yourself play with color and value, you realize you've got a lot of freedom. I'm going to call up my WhatsApp thread, this close-up of the face.
Want me to send one?
Anik, that's coming along nicely. So now you want to get your lighters. Yeah, send along wherever you are, Sandra.
No, I meant to send a close-up of a face.
Oh, no, I got it. I think I've sent it already.
Oh, okay.
I've sent it already. It's here. I can resend it, but thank you so much.
Okay.
That's
Sorry.
totally helpful. By the way, Sandra, where'd you get this picture?
On the internet. I sent you one of Annika's peacock who was sitting on a perch, which I really liked, but then I was looking for other pictures of, I guess, whether feathers would be easier.
Yeah, that I saw that one too, but I thought the values weren't as strong.
Yes, this is like sharper contrast.
Right. So notice, you guys, as I'm coming in to work the shapes, I'm using my skinnier brush. I'm getting in my darks first. The darks are kind of in the bottom and kind of towards the middle of the face. Then when I go in and get my lighter color, I need a little bit of white. Which I might blend with something. And I'm looking at the face as I'm doing this, the close-up of the face. I'm looking at it. I kind of want to see what a light blue looks like here. So when I'm going over the top, oh, it needs to be lighter. You might find as you're using that smaller brush that your initial lines might be too fat. So don't worry about that. Get them in and then go back in when it dries to kind of use your dark to kind of cut in, clean out your light. So see, I kind of went over my dark with my light. Now I'm going to go back in with my dark and get that back in. So this is the thing. When you're working little areas, particularly like this, you're going to go back and forth, in and out. Oh, that's better. You might even need a skinnier brush. I've got a super skinny brush here for really tiny lines. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is like a skinny.
What number is it?
It doesn't even have a number on it. It's like, it's just really skinny. I've noticed the number system doesn't really work for me because
so
every brand has their own.
Exactly.
Right? It's confusing. So one, like for some people, a 6 is like heavy, and then for others, it is not. It's just like I have a whole collection of skinny brushes. I know you do too, just to do the detail work, right? You kind of have to.
I just ordered 4 the other day.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel like I buy them all the time. I feel like I'm always buying skinny brushes, using them up, getting more. Like it's just this, it's almost its own special thing. But notice we haven't really even had to use them until now. It's interesting until we got to animals, which have all these sort of minute changes in color and value. We haven't really had to use the brushes. I'm noticing as I'm getting in this, now what we know is the front leg. I need to make it a little bit longer. So I'm actually just extending it down. And same with this back leg. So see, I'm like going back, you can go back and forth constantly.
I'm probably gonna have to wait till this dries.
This is way too fat. That might be, Diana.
Yeah, I might have to wait till it dries because now it's all super wet when I'm changing.
Do you have something else you can work on while you're waiting for it to dry?
I can always finish Lincoln.
Yeah, there you go. Lincoln is like a specter there to torment you.
Yeah.
Yeah, when a painting is problematic, it is true. You kind of need to have the energy to deal with the problem, right? Like you have to be at a point where you're like, okay, I can sit down and actually have the concentration it takes to do this. Some days you have it and some days you don't. I have this very cool but complex commission that I'm working on now. I've never done anything like it really. Have you guys heard of this sort of utopian computerized underwater city called Rapture?
No.
Yeah, it's like a video game. I guess also apparently a concept of a utopian life, a kind of a libertarian, like pro-capitalist sort of life that came out of World War II. This is this guy's fantasy, and he imagined a kind of underwater city where there were no rules and regulations except for, like, you know, the rules, or everything was privately, people were free to do what they wanted, right? So it's definitely a reaction to like communism, and what people viewed as, like, you know, and anyway, if you look at pictures, so this couple wants me to paint them a version of Rapture. If you look at it, you'll see, you can find pictures of it online, but it's really complicated. It's a really complicated drawing. And there are a lot of days I'm like, I just can't work on this. I can't, like.
Presumably it's your interpretation, because
Yes,
there is no.
yes, although there are many paintings of it. So I'm using all the other
they're
paintings
also
of it. Right,
right.
right. Somebody else's interpretation I'm looking at, because I have no. Okay, Anik, nice. So now, Anik, start going in and adding more lights. We need to get more light in here. So try that technique. Beautiful, just beautiful. You've inspired me. I'm going to lay in a little bit of kind of turquoise in these.
I actually mixed in a green, the viridian, and the yellow.
Ooh,
basically.
okay. So Sandra, there you
And
go.
like,
Viridian
wow.
green and
Thank you.
yellow might
Lemon.
work to create. See those pretty greens that Anik has mixed together to get
me
her
see.
in her tail? That's pretty turquoisey looking. Yeah, I feel like this is too light,
Sorry,
actually.
viridian and what yellow?
Yellow, lemon yellow, I think.
Lemon yellow.
Yeah, cool yellow. So right now, I'm going to, because I feel like I got too light with this, I am going to glaze it darker. So I'm going to mix, I'm going to take a dark color. This is the blue. I'm going to get water on my brush, and I'm going to actually kind of glaze it back. See how I can do that? So if I'm like, and then I'm going to take my paper towel and dot off the glaze. So you see, now I'm starting to be able to use glazing and my original mark making to create texture and color and value changes. I mean, definitely we need light. This is definitely lighter right here. We've got these lights in here, but we also have darks. So the question is how to kind of maintain that without feeling like you have to draw every feather. So I'm getting closer on my second and third layers with the glazing. And I'd recommend, so you're very dark right now, Anik, which is good. So now you got to figure out how to get your lights in there.
Oh, that's gonna be a headache.
It's gonna be a headache. Try using the technique I showed you. Do you remember it? Do you remember the technique I showed you?
Yes, I'm gonna try it, but don't have faith in me.
I have faith in you.
Thank you.
Are you kidding me? You guys are more on than I am this morning. I'm like really not on this morning. I can feel a lot of my choices are a little bit off. I'm having to really second guess them. And there are days like that. Yeah, I've had a lot of people say to me, oh my God, it must be so great to be a painter. And I'm like, some days, other days, it's really tedious, kind of boring. It's
what job is not like that?
Right, exactly. I totally embrace it. But I'm like, don't romanticize my job any more than yours. Like, there are days where I'm like, here, I'll show you some Rapture. Since I'm like waiting for this to dry, I'll show you guys some Rapture photos so you can see this crazy city I have to recreate. see, they might actually be my messenger. Well, let's see. It's BioShock is the name of the game. So this is what the underwater city is often depicted as. Here. You can see it there. I can't, you'll have to click on the link to see it, but see, can I actually? It's beautiful. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Right?
So it is an urban landscape, but underwater.
Yes. So that's his fantasy. This guy's fantasy that like nobody will tell you what to do. Right? Like you can, everything is privately run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
you know,
and
it does not go well. Let's put it that way for him.
yes, no one tells you what to do, and then you get old, basically.
Right. And then you realize that you need help.
Yep.
It's fascinating though. I mean, and yeah, so there's tons and tons of drawings of this underwater city. And I think somewhere in Japan, they're trying to recreate it, actually redraw it. So hello.
That's my cat.
Oh.
Hello.
What do you
Which
want?
That's a
one is
very nice
that?
meow.
Yes.
What do you think? It's peacock. You like the peacock? The peacock.
Hello, Kitsy. Very talky.
Yeah.
But a nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He is nice. Except at 5 o'clock in the morning, he's not so.
Yes, right.
He talks a lot. Talks a lot.
So for the legs, I'm using a very dark mix to actually outline both the front and the back. I made my legs too short, so because it's that kind of morning. So so you'll notice I waited till it dries, and now I'm going in with this fairly dark color, even on the light leg. And then I'm going to go back over and cover it up because I needed to have, and actually I like this dark color. I'm going to add it in down here. I'm going to add it in using my skinny brush, my very skinny brush. So this isn't effective on its own, but it is the beginning. I will often draw in it with a very skinny line and then go back in with my lighter color and almost get rid of the lines. So you can see I'm going over the top of the lines. I'm leaving a little bit in the back here. So I'm putting in the lights where the lights are because you can kind of see the shadow in the back. I'm leaving a little bit underneath. Also on this back section, there's some light areas on the top. And then there's kind of a medium area, which I can get by mixing a little bit more paint in. I'm going to go back in and darken this, my little triangle here. Yeah. So you can kind of go back in if you're like, okay, take two. I need to get more detail in. If you want something to stand out, often doing these little contour lines with a skinny brush and then painting over the top of them will help. I like that a little better. Like Sandra did, you guys feel free to send samples. We're going to be doing animals for the next 4 weeks. So feel free to send in some animals, anything you want to see done.
So I sent you my new pictures. I haven't
Let's see.
decided. Maybe I should just isolate the head and take away the body as well.
Let me look. Oh, Anik, that's really coming along. It's looking beautiful. No, I think it's okay now. I think the white is kind of muted enough and in the background. I would get rid of, I would put like a space between here and here to try and show the 2 legs.
Yeah.
So look at what's happening at the very top of the picture. Go back to the source.
Yeah.
Look at what's happening at the very top of the picture and see what's happening with the legs here and see if you can get a little detail just at the top. I think it's worth it to go back there. I think you'll find a lot of information.
I cut that away from the painting, did I? I have the legs there.
You're not, they don't really look like the legs.
No, they don't.
So that's where you have to work. But this looks okay to me. So
You
this is
think?
now fine. Yep. It kind of, because it's the same, similar in value to this one, it's kind of pushing back. So
Yeah.
it's not, so it's there, but it's not super noticeable. So I think that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to work the legs in the front, Diana. Don't
Yeah.
focus on that back right now. You're gonna focus on the thing that you can actually fix and change, and then you'll know
And I know
what you need to do next.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's totally. I thought she looked so strange, but I didn't realize it was the body I saw there on the side of the face.
Right.
I thought it
You
was.
thought it was part of the face.
Yeah.
I wondered what was going on there. So that is a great example of your left brain causing you problems because you changed the shape based on what you thought it was.
Yeah.
Right. So that's an interesting thing to pay attention to. Yeah, I noticed you were struggling with this drawing and I thought you had a different idea. So I did not spend a lot of time.
No, that's all right.
Yeah,
That's
like
good.
kind of, working with you to fix it. But I could see you were struggling with the shape and I didn't know what was going on. You don't normally have that problem. But I think it's interesting to notice that when you do have the problem, like everyone else, the problem is just literally that you're thinking it's one thing and then you're changing the shape in your head.
Yeah.
Right. Oftentimes when I'm really struggling with shape, I'll turn it upside down so that I don't know what it is. Right. It's harder to see kind of what it is. And I think that could have helped in this situation. Anyway, I'll keep a better eye on that, Diana, next time.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm learning from that too.
Right. But like, it's interesting that even you can make those mistakes this far along with all the experience you have as a drawer, right? Even I can make that mistake. As Anya was pointing out at the beginning, and as Sandra was pointing out in the middle, no, that's not the front leg, it's the back leg. You saw how even I was doing it, right? So it's a really easy thing to kind of slip into.
And because you thought it was the front leg, you wanted it wider.
Yeah, well, it is wide. It's wider than most of you guys have it. Right. Because it's towards the top. But yes, I was interpreting that because it was the front leg, it was wider than it really was. I was thinking that it came up into here, but in reality, there's this shape right there that both of these things were coming into, that dark shape. It's a different shape. Yep, absolutely. I did the same thing. So yeah, I'm as guilty as anybody else. I think it's interesting that we have just all demonstrated by doing it. Like what is happening? Yep, it's always a problem of what we think it is, not what
it but I mean, because both brains work together.
No, well, I don't think the left brain really helps the right brain too much. I mean, I think it gets better, but I don't really think the left, if you'll notice, the left brain was not helping Diana. Sometimes they work together, and then the moment they stop working together is when you start thinking you're seeing something that's not there. And often you're thinking and seeing something that's not there because it's because you think it's something else, because you think it's something that's happening that isn't really happening. So I guess what I'm saying is, for me, it's more, I did not find my left brain was helping. And Diana's left brain did not help her when she needed it to with the cow. She thought that the cow that she was drawing was part of the face. And so she totally redid the shape, right? Like, and I thought this was in the front. So I was looking at this shape and exaggerating it more than it needed to be exaggerated. So yeah, that's left brain stuff. And I wouldn't say that was helping.
Sometimes if I don't know what it is, I don't know how to do it.
Well, actually, Sandra, what I have observed about you is that when you get into that phase, your drawing gets worse. So when you don't know what something is and you start panicking about it, you stop seeing the shapes.
I remember doing an owl early on, and I couldn't quite tell what was going on with the mouth, and the mouth looks wrong because I couldn't quite tell what was going on.
But then you stop looking at the shape. So I guess what my point is this: what the solution, right, to the problem, you think the solution to the problem is knowing what it is and then you can draw it. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, if I know what's going on, like if I can correctly evaluate what's, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, if I had understood that
I
it
get
was
what
the
you're
body,
saying. Yes.
Then I would have looked at it differently.
You would have looked at it differently. I get what you're saying. All right, Sandra, I'll buy that. Yes, they do work together, except when they don't. Right? Yeah, right. I get what your point is. I get that. You know what? I'll take that. But I often find that for me, rather than trying to see what the thing is, I try to focus more on the shape. So very often for me in my process as a painter, I don't know what a thing is as I'm drawing it. I find it more helpful not to know what it is so that I'm focusing more on the shape. And really, if I was focusing on the shape, if Diana was focusing on the shape, it wouldn't matter what it was she was drawing. Like, so in reality, if I was focusing more on the shapes, it wouldn't really matter what the thing is. So I find more often that I will, for me, the problem solving is better. The better way of solving the problem is to actually just look at one shape in relation to the other, rather than trying to, and see, like right now I'm sort of in right left brain. I'm really struggling to find the words to describe what I mean. That is because I'm more in my right brain right now than I am my left. I'm trying to like kind of solve this right brain problem of what do I want to do with these values in the background here. And it's hard for me to talk like and try to put words on what it is I'm doing. So I don't think the words are really helping me to try and explain what I mean. Meaning, I guess they're often at cross purposes. But I understand the point that you're trying to make. I just say that most of the time when I can't see what's going on, I'd rather revert to looking at the shapes rather than guessing wrong at what the thing is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I guess that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's like, I guess wrong. Our problem with the left brain, our problem is that the left brain guessed wrong what the thing was. Ooh, Olga, very nice. Fun. These are beautiful. Anya, beautiful. Anik, beautiful. It's coming along. I like it. So I don't ultimately find the left brain to be the best problem solver. Because if I guess wrong, then I'm wrong. Then I'm going wrong. Shape is a better form, but it's hard to get there. Look, see, I'm going back to yellow. I don't know if this is really what I want to do, but I think I do like that. These are looking beautiful, by the way. I'm totally digging what I'm seeing. So I seem to not be able to resist yellow. I'm going back in with yellow. However, my yellow is going over purple and blue and pink. So maybe it's a slightly different yellow than it was. Sometimes you find you can return to a color. I'm just going to let it sit for now. Send in your stuff. Let me help solve your problems rather than my own. How's that?
Yeah, I'm
They're nice.
not done, but I'm going to send it in anyway.
Okay.
Because I think at least I'm getting in the right direction.
Right direction. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, yes, and I need to get my... Oh, that really helped when I just added that streak in to get the shadow in. That really helped. You'll never know what it is that's going to help.
Oh, I took this in an angle. Who cares?
Beautiful. But I see some wonderful work happening here. Olga, work your background, make your background a little bit more solid or something. It's looking a little too watery right now. It would be nice if it was, you had more paint to kind of really push your peacock forward, but I love the colors. Huh?
Yeah, I was thinking to add some top color for the background because it was wet, so I'm thinking
Oh, you're
about...
just waiting for it to dry. Okay, great. Yeah. Yay. Let's see. Oh yeah, Diana, there you go. Yep, yep, you're in the right direction. Yep, yep, it's all good. Yes, indeed. You got it.
Mistake. Never mind.
Well, as you, Needy, that's coming along very nicely. So now, honey, now is a really good time to pick a background color. I even love how I really love the breast here that you've got going, really lovely. I like this kind of combo set of orangey colors and going into the green. So you can add the kind of circles here, right? On the lighter circles on top of your feathers, but also think about a background color. I don't really know. Maybe purple, maybe orange, maybe, I don't really know. Play around with some background colors. This is a good time to add your background in because you've got this lovely base, and then it'll help you see what you need to, how you need to finish this.
What do you think about sky blue kind of a color?
It might work. It may try it. It might kind of compete with this part, the breast here, because the breast is blue.
Okay.
So maybe orange near where the breast is and sky blue everywhere else. Ooh, Annika. That's really fun. Okay, so something feels, let me see. I love the legs. I love the darkness and the lightness. So Annika, I like this. I would pop out the lights of your circles a little bit now. See a little bit more here. And then you might actually glaze this back like a purple or a blue so that it's not quite so prominently white.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And what we're doing, but I love what you've done with the body. I love what you've done with the legs. I love the shadows. This is a wonderful, and also you should decide what you want your background to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful though. Really great work. It's tricky how to deal with like feathers and fur and all kinds of things. It's like really hard.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everybody's doing great. It's actually making me really, really happy to see these. All right, I'm gonna go a different direction. Do I like that better? I don't know. This may be the painting that time forgot for me. I may not be able to get what I want.
I just wanted to show you some of feathers because they can be such different lengths and everything.
Let's
and they're
see.
different layers.
Here, hold on. I'll put you up here so we can see that. Do
So
it
I
again.
have those that are, this is a shorter one and it's on the side. And then we have the longest one only have a little tail thing like that.
Oh, it's beautiful. They're beautiful. Magical.
Yeah, they're so long. And like I say, they drop these every year. So take them from them or anything. They
Oh,
give-
no, you can't take them.
She
They
said,
don't
Annika says some of her neighbors pull them out of the, pull them out.
No.
What?
But they're
People are
criminal.
just
when
fucking
she knew that
terrible.
they were going to lose them, she knew that we all want them. So she ran out and plucked him.
No.
Oh, but
Jesus.
disgusting. You should have denounced her to the Animal Society,
Yeah,
to
this
the
is-
police.
Yeah, the problem is we only have one peacock left of the 20 we've had since 1960 something because people get mad when they can't cross the street because they're walking across the street. So they call the animal
Control.
and have them come.
Oh, what
Can you
idiots.
believe that?
Hate humans.
I know humans are assholes. Like
they're-
humans can really be assholes. I mean, we also have the capacity to be really great, but in that capacity is really a selfishness that's kind of beyond compare.
Yeah.
It's really too bad.
We
This is
we
why
have a group of white peacocks living where I am. They're all white.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah,
No-
you know, this is what I love about living on the west coast of the US. It's a little bit wilder, right? There's a little bit more, there's just less people. There have been people, there's been not so many. I mean, the East Coast, I feel like is very, not that there isn't a
more
lot of
urban.
great.
But you know, compared to Europe, America is so wild and
Yes,
so
yes,
much
yes, that is
Yeah.
absolutely true. You know, Sandra, when I lived in Europe with Muka, I never had to worry about her going out anywhere. She was always the top predator, right? Basically, there isn't a lot of wild, even when we lived near a forest in Zagreb, and like it was amazing. Okay, this is making me happier.
Well, the foxes takes the cats in Sweden.
Yeah, yeah, they can, but
Yeah, but
like,
well, in London, for instance, urban foxes in London. London is full of foxes.
yes, it's not
Um,
that, but I just think there's less wildlife.
Oh,
than-
completely.
Yeah, then
Yeah,
like, and
it
well,
is.
but West Coast, and I would encourage all of you, Sandra, come visit us in the West
I lived
Coast.
in California for 3 years. So
Oh, when was that?
when I was from ages of 15 to 18.
Right. Wow.
And yeah, but we have a lot of, I mean, like Washington is built on top of an ancestral forest. So we've got
You've got the
animals
rem.
everywhere.
Yes, yes.
We've got deer, possum, raccoons, even coyotes, foxes.
You have
I love-
coyotes in Washington?
Yeah.
Oh, there's coyotes everywhere.
And now,
There's
well,
coyotes and wolves in all cities.
I don't know, but we have got wolves. Coyotes is fairly recent. But I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yes, it's a sort of regression to the wild.
Well,
Right.
and then you've got these stupid humans who sometimes complain, or as you say, you know, they see a fox and they call animal control, and it's like you're sitting in the middle of a forest. You know,
What are you thinking? I know. Hello, share. Yeah,
These
humans
New
are
Yorkers
pretty.
who move here.
Yeah, the one thing I'm not so fond of is that we have rattlesnakes.
Huge.
We don't have those. We have many rat snakes. Well, many rat snakes.
Although-
But they don't bite you.
No,
My
they don't.
cousin who lives in who was in where was she? In Charleston, I think, or in Charleston, South Carolina, or Savannah. She was in she was in Atlanta
Yeah.
weeding in her father's garden, and she got bit by a cottonmouth.
Whoa.
Yeah, had to go to the hospital, and because those are pretty poisonous, and they're right in the middle of Atlanta. right? You know, they
Yeah.
live like they're a total city. Okay, the red makes me feel a little bit better. I like it a little bit better. You guys are watching me struggle. I'm like watching what you're doing here. Oh my God, you realize we've totally, no, wait, we haven't. We have time. No, wait. Yes, we've gone 15 minutes past time.
Oh, we have?
Yeah.
Ah,
Didn't even notice.
all right. Yeah.
Here, let me look at what people have sent in. Sent in what you've got.
I love the peacocks.
Yeah, it was
Lots of-
really fun. Thank you, Sandra. Great. Like, ooh, Annika, that's looking good. Oh, Anya, I like the color you've picked for your background. It's perfect. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
thanks a lot. I think maybe I started a bit late with the background, but I was just so
No,
into
no. You started at a perfect time with the background. Just notice what the background does for your painting, right? Like, look at what it does. And I also, Anya, really like how you handled the light and dark markings on here. I think this is great. I think you did a great job here. It's wonderful. Ani, great, wonderful. Sandra Cummings. So Sandra, this is two, right now, this is two
Not finished, but-
Yeah. I would say go in with your lights and try to add some of those light variations here. Oh, right, you're working with gouache. It's a little harder.
Yeah, gouache and mixed with watercolor, which is a bit of difficult.
Diana,
but
I think you solved the problem. Diana, you solved the problem. It's ready. Anyway, talk to me. Say that again, Sandra.
right, because I'm working with gouache and watercolor, I don't even know which is which anymore.
Yeah,
in my
that's
head.
okay. Yeah, so maybe some gouache light areas on top.
Yes, I'm
here,
now
see if you
doing
can
a.
pull
I was
them.
waiting for it to dry.
And then the other thing, Sandra, I want you to get is a little bit more darker and thicker here in the base and
Okay.
stringier as you come towards the end. So instead, the sort of challenge of doing like these sort of raggedy, feathery bits, just like hair, is that you want to you want to paint every one like this. Let me show you how that looks for a second. So this is what we think we should do, right? Right? Just paint every single one as a single thread. But that's not actually what's happening. They're kind of clumping more and dark
Right.
more in certain areas, just like trees, just like the way we've been doing trees in landscapes, right? That's similar to what's happening here. So really where we're focused on that kind of level of teeny tiny detail. So if you get darker and sort of more solid up here, you can then drag this down. You can drag down a few light strands into your background, and you don't have to do every single one. It doesn't look so, you know, like little soldiers.
Right. I tried to make them different direction.
Yeah, but it won't work that's not the way to do it. You want to, it's really solid up in here. Just like
Okay.
when you're doing a tree base. Oh yeah, that's looking a little bit better. I really like what Anya did up here. I like how we had a kind of light kind of block with some darker. I feel like that. Of course, now I have to get darker. Anyway, good job, Anya. You're doing some good. I loved your color choices today. Did anybody feel it was a little bit freeing? Some people might have felt it was harder to choose your own colors, but other people might really have liked that. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to choose your color.
Right? Like to kind of play around. Like what we're really learning about is how to assign value to color. Some people, this is easy, and for other people, it's hard, right? It's harder to see it intellectually. Once again, if you think of you have a concept in your mind of what is yellow, as opposed to yellow being relative to whatever it's next to. That looks great, Diana. You fixed it. You fixed it.
Thank you.
It all fixed. All right, everybody, hold on. I'm going to pull off the spotlight. I'm going to put you all in gallery view so I can see you. Let's hold up our pieces so we can see them just where they're at right now, kind of in that distant way. That means we don't. Oh, yeah, you got it, Diana.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Nice, nice. It's coming. Oh yeah, Linda, beautiful. Olga, you guys, Anya, great. You nailed it. Great, great. And I think this might be my favorite painting you've ever made. Natalia, beautiful. I love your background. Make sure your peacock is dark enough. Look at the contrast between like Anya's background and her actual bird. Very nice. Very nice. You guys did wonderful. Look how different they are. Needy, that's going to work out great. That orange is going to work out great. Very nice. Good work, you guys. Great, great work. Oh, I'm so proud of you. All right, so tomorrow in beginning drawing, we draw raccoons. And on Sunday, we're doing, I think might be the last snow scene for pastels before we move into water and reflections, which is one of Marie's favorites. And next week we'll do more animals, so send them over. I really prefer animals that have a lot of contrast in them, nice light dark areas. So if you want, if you're sending stuff over, send me stuff with nice dark light contrast. I wanted to show you, I did this last year, and this goldfish that we did last year was actually a wonderful thing to paint. So let me show it to you. I know you're like, goldfish, I was kind of like, goldfish, what the heck? I don't want to paint a goldfish, but here, hold on, where is it? I think we're in, let me grab it here and show it to you. I think we should try this one just because it ended up being absolutely beautiful and more fun. It's not there. Hold on, I'll see. Give me a second. If it's in photo sources for painting. All right, I'll send it across because I think honestly, as a painting subject, it sounds kind of boring, but as a painting subject, it was a lot of fun. But anyway, I'll take anything. Send it over. You know, I want animals that will make you smile, and I want animals that you want to spend time with, right? That make you want to spend time with them. And of course, continue to post what you're working on. And Sandra, I just can't believe what you did with my Hermes. You just,
Isn't it beautiful?
I kind of want to cry every time I look at it.
It's beautiful.
You even got his kind of like craziness, like in the expression of his eyes. Thank you so much. It's just such a gift.
I'm going to finish the watercolor and then send them both to you.
Yay! All right, I'll send you something, but we'll figure out a trade on this one.
You've already given me so much with these classes.
I'm so glad.
I'm
really
repaying
glad.
you.
Thank you. It's really, honestly, I will probably cry the whole time. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. Hopefully I'll see some of you on the weekend. And we're off and running. Enjoy the end of your day.
Are there raccoons at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, raccoons are at 9 a.m. 9:30 a.m. actually.
Okay.
9:30 a.m. Yes,
Okay.
yes. All right, guys, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.